thoughts and dreams. You and I were just saying you are everything and everything else, and you are good to me. You live on faithfully.
We are live here at cityworldradio.com, Skies Crescent Radio. This is Boozy News. I'm your host, Roberto De Jesus of Supreme Bars. And we got more than a couple guests this time. We got folks of all different areas of the world here. I am Roberto once again. Let's just start off the intros right now while I'm pouring you this Cabernet and Montepulciano. Y'all choose whatever you want to drink. You want to start over there, Mr. Sir that I just met?
Sure. Hal Baxley out of Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee, Florida. What do you do exactly, Hal?
Own a couple of network marketing companies.
There we go. Can you name one of them and what they do, what the networking marketing company is?
Sure. We have a company called Revital U International. We're a sample-first company where we, not typical of network marketing, we have everyone sample our products. We have a cocoa. We have
Swing.
we have cocoa. We have these caps, and for people that don't like coffee or hot chocolate, and so it's energy. Promotes weight loss, basically makes you clear, takes some of the fog out of the way, that kind of thing. So it's all natural and healthy. Good stuff.
Awesome. How do we know each other exactly?
Well, actually, you're my son.
Really? Surprise, surprise. Although on Facebook and Instagram, I did tell everyone that my parents would be here for Boozy News, which is unheard of. How many people do you know do podcasts and bring their parents into the show? It's amazing.
Did we just find out that you were his son, or did we
just found out?
Exactly.
Did we know this
Yeah, the DNA. We did Ancestry.com.
The email just came in.
We came to New York looking for him.
Yeah, my son.
Yes, we came to New York looking for him, and we found him.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, honestly, they're here from Florida. They came here, and I decided to ask to bring them into Boozy News. But the truth is, they are here because they both just had a birthday recently.
Nice.
Last week, Hal had a birthday.
Woo!
He just turned 23.
Nice.
And this week, Friday,
Cool.
my mother, I just spoiled this. Okay, this woman over here, she just had a birthday on Friday, and she just turned 22. So
And holding.
Nice.
And holding.
I like
Yes.
that.
all right, so Miss, would you like to?
Yes, my name is Jay Baxley,
Jay Baxley.
and I am also from Mickey Mouse Land, Kissimmee, Florida. And we have another business, which is the CBD oil.
Oh,
Ooh,
Hal didn't
nice.
mention the CBD oil.
Yes.
What does it do exactly? How does it benefit you?
Full spectrum. It's an amazing, for my husband, I want to just mention that. The arteries on his neck, he had it all occlused.
So there's a testimony here.
Absolutely. 100% closed, 40% on the other side. And now he has blood flow, which is 90% on one side and 10% on the other side.
And because of the CBD oil, he's
Because
been
of
able to cure it.
CBD oil. Yeah, it's
And
been doing
from what
wonders to so many people.
From what I gathered, you went to different VAs, you went to different hospitals, and none of them could help you out.
Inflammation in his
Yeah.
foot for almost 7-8 years. He could not wear shoes until just recently.
Wow.
Yes, that
That's
was
insane.
very emotional.
Oh,
So
bully for that, that's for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
I never got to say it.
Bully.
Bully for that.
Yeah,
Bully for
yeah.
CBD oil.
yeah.
And so you sell the CBD oil, is that it?
Yes, it's great for animals as well. It reduces some tumors.
Wow.
So
Why didn't you tell me that 3 years ago?
yeah, I know.
Lost my dog 3 years ago.
I know. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I think about that.
Oh.
So yeah, and we take it for preventive measures. So that's why I want all the kids to get on it.
Awesome.
I have soup, tea, and wine. I don't know what to do first. Hal, do you want some tea? It's really good tea.
Tea.
No.
All right.
He likes tea.
He's good. Let's keep it going. Without further ado, we got the champion of Supreme Bars over here this month,
Hey.
October 2018,
Nice.
which was his second win.
Oh,
Two time.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Can I call you mom?
Yes, you should.
The DNA tests have just come in as well. And
He's so cute.
I am also.
He is my brother.
I am also his brother. Yeah. No, I go by the name of Triple. I got a regular name, but That's not really cool.
Is it Dex McBean?
It is Dex McBean, which is awesome.
Also a pretty cool name. It's like a bad guy.
It really is.
It's like a
Bruce
super
Willis
villain.
movie
Yeah,
or
you
something.
try growing up in the hood in the 90s with a name like Dex.
Dex McBean.
Yeah.
Dex, who are
It
you?
sounds
You
like
would
a
have to be
guy
bad,
on a
dude.
CW
You would have to
show
be
or
one
something.
bad dude.
Nah, I'm a hip hop artist, freestyle rapper. I try to do a lot of interesting things. Supreme Bars is one of them.
Aw.
I'm this much champion, so that's also fun.
Yeah.
And I'm working on.
You got 2 trophies. You still have the 2 trophies? or
Of
did
course,
you just,
man.
Like, throw it away
No,
somewhere?
man.
Okay.
I got them propping up a table in my kitchen there. No.
Nice. I don't buy those trophies for no reason. I want
No,
them
actually,
to
I
be
was
proud of who they
Nice.
are.
I was actually happy because the mics are facing two opposite. They're facing
Nice.
each other.
Nice.
So that's
Apex
pretty
of
cool.
mics.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also have a band called the Ashy Elbows.
Yeah, this is the best part.
That's definitely a real thing.
Dope.
You got to hear him when he gets in front of the audience. He's like, all right, everybody. Okay, no, you do it. You do it.
Should I do it?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I got a band called the Ashy Elbows. We drop albums usually every Ash Wednesday. That's also true.
Nice.
When I say no, everybody in the room say lotion. No.
Lotion.
No.
Lotion.
That's our website, nolotion.com.
Good
Love it.
plug.
I hope
love
y'all
it.
really check it out. Actually, I'm working on an album right now. It's an album called Wealth. We All Live to Hustle. It's basically a financial album.
Nice.
We all live to hustle. Well,
Yeah.
wow.
That's deep.
You know, a little bit old in the music game right now, so I'm trying to
31.
close
Pretty
enough.
old in the music game.
I'm trying to hone my talents on something that I actually know that's real world and turn it into something that's kind of useful to people. I like to say
Wow.
that if I can do for financial topics what hip hop did for crack cocaine, like most people know how to cook crack cocaine off of hip hop. Water, flour, baking soda,
True.
ice. If I can do that for like credit scores and super PACs and stuff, then I feel like I've done a good thing. So
That's the ultimate
working on
analogy
that.
right there.
Nice.
I'm literally doing all the above. I got the tea, got the soup. Y'all need to let me know if you want to do Cabernet or Montepulciano. I personally like Montepulciano, so leave me some. All right, tea, extra. You go by extra, but you're also Terrence.
So, So I have many things that happen in life. Extra stage. I'm a hip hop artist as well.
Dope.
Run with End of the Week, EO Dub. Been with them like 15 years. Go back a long time.
Oh.
And I also
15 years EO Dub. Did I just hear that?
yeah, it's probably
While I was
longer
trying
than
to pour
that.
wine to my mother. 15, that's wow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the battle rap champions when they were online trying to get in. Most of the hosts who've evolved into greater artists, we all stood out there on that line, rapping to one another, and was doing their thing. So it's good to see everybody evolved in the thing that they love. And also, I do on the side. I have a partner named Shim. We have a workout called Ghoul Jitsu.
Like Shin?
Shim.
Shim.
Yeah.
Shin?
In the
Shin?
Shim. No, not Shin.
Shim, like, never mind.
Yeah, like the Three Stooges, one of those guys. Yeah.
Shem.
Yeah.
Shem, yeah.
So we have this workout called Ghoul Jitsu, self-defense against the undead, and we actually have a reality show in the works. So we got a deal like a couple of
that's
years
so
ago,
cool.
and we filmed this trailer, which it looks nice, but the content of it, the people who gave us the money to film it had some other ideas outside of what the show was actually about. So we're gonna have to refilm it. And I've lined up some networks to look at it. So hopefully that'll be coming our way. And really, honestly, is like self-defense against the undead or zombie-like situations, or when like people go into schools with guns and shoot up the whole thing. That's a zombie-like situation because all they want to do is basically hurt you. That's what a zombie would do.
Right.
You can't reason with them. They don't have compassion at the time. They're active.
Depends on
So.
what movie. No.
Yeah. So, that's basically it. Just basic, like fitness workout
You ever saw
thing.
Warm Bodies? I didn't know
Ah.
that. That movie was horrible.
Come on.
Apparently,
That's not a
back to
zombie
human.
movie.
No, it's not. That's not. That was was a romantic comedy.
A zombie love movie. I think that's what
We call it a zombie.
Somebody.
Zombie.
Ah.
What about what was it? Not Dawn of the Dead, not Day of the Dead, but after that there was
Shaun of the Dead.
No, not Shaun
There
of
was
the Dead.
Land of the Dead,
Before Land of the Dead. After
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the
but
Living
after
Dead.
that,
Is
there was the
set
one
it off.
about the one zombie that was helping everybody. What was
Oh
it?
well, that was Day of the Dead. That was
Well, that
where.
was on Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I actually know that guy, Howard.
that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Actually, he's funny enough. He's in a Geico commercial right now. He's a fisherman, and the little gecko lizard is in the water with him. So yeah, that's him.
That's funny.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I've
him.
seen that one. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
him. So so that's a couple of things, and also we have a Halloween masquerade happening on.
That's right.
Well, now the date has been changed from November 2nd to the 3rd. So some stuff with
November
the place.
3rd.
It's Saturday. It's just the next
Another
day.
24 hours.
Yeah, and also we have a haunted house thing happening at my buddy Shim's place. So he's been doing this for like 20 years.
You got a Halloween party and then
Oh,
a
wow.
haunted house happening.
Well,
too?
the haunted house would be before the party. And it's basically open to the community. He doesn't charge people to come in. He's right now in his basement working it on. And it's so amazing. He owns a 5-story brownstone in Bed-Stuy. So he's been doing this in the 90s where like all the thugs like, yo, you don't let people in your house. What up, man? What you got down there? And it's kind of so funny that, all of these hard dudes go down there and then they can't deal with it. It's hilarious. We have it all on film.
That is hilarious.
That's
So you said a 5-story brownstone.
Yeah, so what he does is
What
he
does
just
that mean?
uses he rents out like 4 of those floors. So he has like an Airbnb thing
What's a
happening.
brownstone?
So brownstone
Oh, he's
is
from Florida. He's from Florida.
so brownstone is like think of like a townhouse,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
a little bit bigger.
in the city.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like
right,
to each other.
right.
So that's what they call them.
Yeah, it's like a
Townhouse
private
duplex.
house, but it's all his.
The buildings with like the steps and the nice door that you see.
Right. So, down in the South, we'd say that would be like a multiplex.
The multiplex.
Yeah,
Instead of a duplex,
Right.
Like in the
triplex,
Green
quadplex.
Right.
Village.
Over here
Yeah.
we call it
Where they have with the
multiplex.
stairs.
The movie theater.
Exactly.
Yeah,
AMC multiplex.
yeah.
AMC Brownstones.
They get a lot of my money at AMC.
But the real question is, out of everything you said, you want multiple genre or Cabernet?
You guys pick. I don't.
No one's picking Cab. We're getting a Cab.
Cab.
Cab. Got another one for Cab. Another one.
Hey.
And I'm Roberto de Jesus, Supreme Bars, Supreme Fam, Outdoors Freestyle Event for Artists. We got the Boozy News podcast going on right now while I'm pouring wines. Give me multitasking. I'm pouring my mom some wine. I'm pouring X some wine.
Nice.
Can I call you X or T?
Terrence, listen, man. Whatever one you feel.
You know, you forgot to plug in your ugly sweater parties that you throw.
Oh
every year.
yeah, so that's coming up in December. I do this
good.
ugly Christmas sweater party that's like awesome.
I had to buy a sweater just for the party.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be epic this year. Yeah,
okay.
get those, please. Yeah, get an ugly Christmas sweater. Come and we
I'm
just
gonna tie
vibe
down my
out.
sweater so it looks different, but it'll be the same sweater.
Hey, listen, we gotta save money.
That's cool.
Economic hard times.
Word. All right, well, let's get right to it. We have 4
add
different
more
headlines
lights.
that I sent to everybody in the email. Sorry, T, I didn't send you the email, but at least you'll be able to pick it up because
Okay.
you're good that way. I usually allow everyone to just pick which headline we want to talk about first, but let's just go right into it because it's already 5:30. Might leak a little bit past 6. Sorry, folks, if anyone's listening or watching. Let's talk about Hungary. Very random thing to say at a podcast, but this is really important. All right, the headline reads that the Prime Minister Viktor Orban is now declaring that he wants people to not live in any free spaces in Hungary. This has been issued since 2015 when they decided they were going to solve this homelessness crisis. Also, in 2015, Viktor Orban did say that he was. Are you playing games?
No, I'm
You're playing. What? Are you Candy Crushing?
I brought my own soundboard.
He's like, oh yeah, homeless. Oh no.
No, you got to whip the homeless out.
All right. So Viktor Orban and the country of Hungary is predominantly Christian Orthodox, and he's saying that he will be the solution to ending the influx of Muslims in Europe, which sounds very Hitler
Wow.
to me, if you ask me. But that's his idea. I'm sure he comes from a good place when he says it. I try to see the good in people. But in the end, he's not exactly thinking about the individuals who are being affected. He wants Hungary, he wants Budapest to look completely clean, streets clean, free, so tourists can... I have a good friend of mine, George. He owns the Buren over in Bushwick. And he's saying that he's from Greece and Albany. He's from Greece.
Albany, Greece?
He's from Greece and Albania.
I was about to say Albany, Greece. Wow, didn't know that. Didn't know they had
Albania
an
and
Albany
Albany
Greece.
come from the same root.
Is that
All right,
upstate
anyway.
Greece?
Upstate
Never
Greece.
Roberto,
All right,
please
so-
quit mixing the wine.
I didn't even taste it yet. I didn't even touch it yet. All right, so
No more tea for you.
so it comes from Long Island City. It comes from the Greek part of Astoria. Anyway, so and he was telling me that he would visit Hungary all the time, and there would be tourists. Just tourism is flooded all over through Budapest. Hungary has a lot of history, so he was saying that when he went there, he did notice that there were like no homeless people in Budapest. Which, for tourism's sake, yeah, it brings money into the country, more money to fill in the prime minister pockets. But where are the homeless people being taken to? They are being fined. They are being taken to prison. Or they're being taken to shelters. Now, when you ask certain psychiatrists, just like the article read, oh my gosh, you really did bring sound effects. Yo, he's like, I'm too old for the rap game, but he's too young for podcasts.
It's true.
Okay, so the real deal is, where are these people being taken to? They're being taken to prison automatically just for being broke and on the streets. They're being imprisoned. They're being taken to shelters, and if there are too many people in the shelters and still choose to live in the streets, they get mandatory work service. Once again, where have you heard this before, where people have mandatory work service? They're not taken into a camp. They're just taken into like city custody. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'll put this out in public. I did get a DUI once, and I was forced to do community service. And I did feed the homeless, which was amazing. I chose to feed the homeless, but
Nice.
I was also supposed to clean up the streets of New York. And so I was taken to the highways, cleaning streets, and I was taken to Columbus Park in Chinatown to clean the park. I did not want to do that. And I know exactly what they're going through. I wasn't homeless at the time, but being forced to do service work because you live on the streets is ridiculous. I said too much. I'm opening the floor right now as far as your opinions on the matter. Just so you know, we all have different mindsets from where we come from, and different backgrounds, different political views. Everyone respect each other's opinion. It's all on you. I'm going to go back to my soup.
I did not know that you had to do that. Busted.
There we go.
Got in trouble.
Forget the homeless. You got a DUI. No.
I know.
No, I mean, from a tourism standpoint, I can understand the mentality of it all. I mean, we suffer from a similar problem here in New York. You know, there are spaces where there are flat areas where homeless people will stay, where homeless people will live and sleep and set up their cardboard boxes, where they've installed like spikes so that homeless people can't stay there. So like
Right.
they're basically treating them like pigeons. Like, you know,
You've seen
ever-
the spikes.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
really sad, actually.
when you walk past a building and they have spikes on the building so the
It's
pigeons
true.
won't land there. They put these down for homeless people, and I think the mentality of it all is less humane than anything else.
It's true.
It's a sad thing. It's an understandable for an economic standpoint. However, I don't think that they're dealing with it in the proper manner.
Yeah.
Homelessness is a culmination of a lot of factors. It's mental. It's financial. It's a lot of reasons why people suffer from homelessness. And I think instead of
It's
attacking,
not always addiction to substances.
Yeah.
There's so many different reasons.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well,
And
like
you-
rent, they just raise it at will. They have no consideration of what you make as a salary, but your rent will go up. Your living condition doesn't change. The apartment that you live in that you're overpaying for doesn't become better or more spacious.
And not everybody has a
but-
friend or family member they could just crash
Right.
on.
And, you know, and they take advantage of it, and no one checks them on it because they benefit, you know, and I think that's a real issue, you know, and then here it is, all the people in power, oh, I'm a Christian this, but here it is, the work that you're doing, this is not things that Christ would have done. You know, you pretend that they're invisible. You don't want the people that come from out of town to see your problem, but it's a problem for everybody.
Exactly.
You know, and then it's a shame that, let's just sweep them under the rug. They're not human. They don't exist. You know, you treat them less, you treat them like animals. And it's a shame. I wouldn't want to be a part of any of it.
Mother, Hal, father, Jay, anybody?
We have the same
Your
situation
name's
in
not
Florida.
Hal. I just said Mother Hal.
Mother Hal.
That's Hal. And that's Jay.
Well, it's funny when you put the topic out and I started reading it. This is something that's been on me for a long, long time. I mean, Jay and I, our heart is with the homeless, and we try to do things for the homeless in the way of feeding. We're a little bit fortunate, financially to, be able to do some things, and so. But what I don't understand, and we're getting ready, and I'm going to use this whole lottery thing, which I know is another one of the topics, but. We're getting ready to probably go to $2 billion, okay, which is crazy because it's going to change some people's lives. There's no question about that.
Right.
But why can't we have portions of the lottery that are going to go to, because not all the states, are involved in it, but let's make all the stuff in there.
Right.
And let's take and put portions of that money, okay, to build facilities or renovate facilities for homeless people. In Orlando,
It should be mandatory, not to the person who wins, but to the city to save a portion of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, because the city is the one taking the burden on it anyway. If they're, Orlando's a major tourist city, and they don't want that, but we have it all the time. So, and we have hotels that are just, and I'm talking like 500, 600, 1,000 unit empty hotels, empty hotels that Jay and I actually talked about to try to find a group of investors to buy this place and literally renovate it to where, because we have homelessness from the big crash in 2008 and 2009 of families.
Yes.
I mean, we have kids that were living in, basically hotels, and the school buses were going by hotels. Over half school buses were traveling to hotels, to pick up kids. And, at one point in time in Osceola County, which is ridiculous. And so with all this money and these people are going after this, and we're going to talk about the lottery here as one of the topics, but, I mean, that's a way we realistically can make that money work. Somebody's still going to win, okay? It doesn't matter if you win, $500 million or you win $10 million, okay? It's still going to change your life.
That was actually the next question, too. Like, what would the solution be? I know we all say it's sad and this is a really bad thing, but that could be a solution.
Well, that's the thing I'm saying. Let's work on the solution, instead of giving our opinion on what we think. I mean, if we all put our heads together collectively, we can come up with something.
That's what we can do here. What can Viktor Orban do in Hungary? Because this happened this week. I mean, this was in the news this week. So it's obviously, if it reached America, this is a big deal. What can they do in that country?
Why not the same thing? Why not something along those natures?
Have a lottery?
A lottery or something along those lines.
Yeah, my mom used to say that
What if I use this one?
an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure.
An ounce of perversion.
Say that again?
An ounce.
An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. And I think right now they're trying to use a pound to cure the situation instead of trying to prevent the situation. Like we said before, homelessness is so many different factors that it would take less to attack the factors that would lead to homelessness than it is to clear up homelessness. If you can arguably prevent people from falling into homelessness, it'd be way easier than to shuffle them around, than to do all of these things that are inhumane and that any reasonable person would consider horrific.
It's like saying this generation, it's done. We messed it up. Let's focus on the next generation. But this generation's still happening. I mean,
They're still right.
I don't know if you saw my post last week, but it's true. Now there are more homeless students, which are the future. There are more homeless students in New York now than there have ever been.
Yeah.
And this is a poll that's been going on for the last 2 years, which, in my opinion, I said right after that apparently they care so much about our tuition, but they just don't care about what we do afterwards.
Well, it seems like they want to make New York a place for the rich, and that's the way it seems like it's going. Every place that was so bad back in whenever. Now, they invested a little bit of money, and now you got the rich people coming in there.
Who don't even live in New York.
And all of a sudden, New York is great again. But here it is. You're wiping out all the culture, all the people that brought life to that place. It couldn't have been that bad if there had been people there for like 20 or 30 years, So really, when you're looking at it, it's like, why did all of a sudden you invest when all of these other people came in, but then the people that were there at the time they were there, why didn't you help then?
And you're both from New York.
Yeah, born and raised.
Yep.
Born and raised. We're talking to two real New Yorkers. We just had a conversation with other folks who are also from New York. This is very rare. You know, I'm glad that we're actually hearing from people who have experience in this city.
Oh yeah,
for decades.
I've been looking at how it works, and I think New York is like almost a victim of its own success. You know.
Yep.
A lot of like what I noticed the other day was across the street from Marcy Projects, where Jay-Z grew up. They're building huge condominiums, you know,
Right.
and it's almost like the success of those people that told their story from those struggles. It's become like a tourist attraction.
It created
now.
tourism. People
Yeah,
just
now-
literally. I've seen people go to the projects
just
to see where
say,
Jay-Z was
yeah,
born.
You know, I was in Marcy Projects.
And then other dudes
you
in
know?
the projects like,
What are you doing here? Exactly.
well, like, what are you doing?
So
It-
it's weird.
it's almost
you won't,
like
you won't find me
glorifying the
there.
ghetto.
Like, I have no desire to go into the
But
projects.
they're glorifying
yeah.
the ghetto. To them, it's not real. But there are people
well,
right
it's
next
like
to
a
them
school.
struggling.
It's a school trip to them
Yes.
because it was like, oh my God, this is what captivity looks like. This is what
Yeah,
the struggle
wow.
looks like. This is, you know, and that's how it's marketed. That's why they're going there. You know, they go there and say, "Oh my goodness, this is so real," and I want to take this on.
And then it brings money into the city, and then
But
the
does it-
people
but
who
none
they're
of- but none
glorifying
of-
are
but-
being
right.
driven out of the projects that they're
Right, they don't
Exactly.
send none of that back to the people that you went there to see.
exactly.
Exactly.
You know, none of those
To the
people
people
are
that need the help.
right. None of those people are smiling when you go there to see them. You know, so it's like, is that, you know, politically correct to do something like that?
No, it's
You
not a
know?
zoo.
It's like
Right.
a student visit
But-
to like
But
Sing
they're making
Sing.
people feel like I'm gonna
But that's what's happening.
You can chime in all you want, Jamie. You always have an
But I
opinion.
mean, let
which
me ask you a
we
question. I mean,
truly
I'm,
respect.
I've never been around the projects or anything like that. We don't really have that in Florida too much, you know. But
I mean, Florida's got its own version of projects.
we do. Yeah, we do.
Correct.
But my question is that like one step above homelessness?
Well,
You mean under
From
the poverty line?
what's projected, you know, that you see on TV.
with the
But
way
it brings me back to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
You know, about how can we begin to educate better so you don't walk into that bit of homelessness, so you don't leave the projects to go into you don't leave the projects to go to drugs, you don't leave the projects to go to gangs, you don't leave the projects to go to these types of situations. You know,
But
so that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying
artists
is that
do
one
that.
step.
A lot of artists, that's all they know. So once they make
Right.
that money from their talents, it goes back to like, you know, what was it? Method Man, Red Man, like spent like $5 million in weed and their Blackout album, but
think
it all
about
went
it.
to like weed. Is that what
you,
they
you,
said?
you just gave $5 million to some people who were poor, right? So instinctively, you didn't show them how to invest their money to
Right.
make that money work for them,
Correct.
Right.
So if they've been living a certain way prior to that $5 million, what do you think is going to happen when you give $5 million? You're going to go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
And it's a sad example is that when people have this money put in front of them and, oh, well, you know, I'm going to buy a $5,000 chain or a $100,000 car, which you could invest that in a house. Make your money make money for you, but no one is showing them that. Right? They don't put people in power
I'm gonna
that
show
can
them
do
that.
that kind of stuff.
On my album.
You know?
It's very true. I love movies, so I'm pretty sure I'd put that money towards my own movie theater. So it'll just be
But
me.
right, but you know what? But you gave back to the hood because now people have a job,
If,
right?
if, I
now
mean, just me one seat.
now you're preventing
One
homelessness,
seat
right? You can prevent homelessness if you brought jobs back.
Right.
You know what was happening over there. You know, so it's like, oh, if
Is
I
that the situation though? That basically there aren't jobs.
there,
Is
what
that- and-
happens is that now every
Well,
place
I
you
guess
have
it
to
gets
have.
convoluted at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's when it
some
starts to-
places like, oh, you have to have a college degree. So now you got these kids up in the projects who I'm not going to no college. I ain't got that kind of money. So now you just deterred them from trying to go for a job that's going to benefit them because, oh, you got to have a degree. And some companies are doing that just to do it because then they'll put their relatives in, and their relatives no smarter than a sponge, but they're in place because, you know, oh, well, my dad runs the company. Oh, my aunt is in
Right,
charge of
right.
it. And then that's how that's working. And it stays in the family. I mean, you can't fault anybody for doing that because if that's the company that they started and they want to run it that way, by all means, do what you got to do. But then, two, now why you wonder why those kids are out there doing what they're doing, it's this kind of stuff that is just discouraging to them.
Right.
You know, and it's not being reinforced like, oh, you could do this. You can pick up a trade. You can all their options aren't shown to them, unfortunately, in a lot of those situations. So,
but it goes back to what we were talking about, the homelessness. If we would actually utilize money to create jobs, to where you build places for people to live, but at the same time you give them jobs, you give them the aspects, or I mean, Jay and I have talked about that, because we're very much into the veterans, and both of us are retired
Talking
military.
to two veterans over here.
Yeah, my dad is too.
20
Yeah,
years, 20 years Air Force.
Armies.
nice. Nice.
So for us, it means a lot, and so it's and we see how veterans are treated and what they have to go through a lot of times,
right.
We
especially
all
with
saw
their
dead
health care.
presidents.
Right.
So, but the thing is that we've looked at how do you bring your soldiers back to society into a way that they can handle certain things, and so they have to stay within their own a lot, and then they have to venture out. But we talked about the fact of the homeless people, of incorporating where businesses can come in and talk to them and interview them, and now they've got a place because again, if you're able to put a smile on somebody's face that may be homeless and give them some hope, okay, that goes a long, long way. I mean, hope to someone like that's hopeless,
Right.
okay, is like giving them a shot of adrenaline.
I honestly, this is such a radical idea, but I would get a homeless person and I would send them to each college as a professor, because you know what? If you tried to live on the streets for as many years as they did,
There's a
lot
and
of
they
ingenuity
survived,
involved.
You better bet.
and they survived, that's something to learn from.
And I got roommates complaining about the
and-
central AC.
Yeah, and it's
cold,
like,
too hot.
they can't pick and choose their situation. They are stuck in whatever they are stuck in,
Yeah.
and they've survived it, and that comes with saying something, Not everybody can do something like that, and it's like, you go talk to the world, because now the kid that is going to be the lawyer or the next doctor might give them a better insight of what they're doing, and it might encourage them to even push harder. And that kind of stuff is just underutilized. Like they are more of an asset than a problem or something that needs to be swept under the rug.
Right.
That's true.
I feel. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
How you doing?
I feel also that you can kind of kill two birds with one stone by also incorporating like a therapy for the homeless. Like, there's so many I always go back to animals, but there's so many animal shelters everywhere that need volunteers, and they're always asking for volunteers, and there's so many volunteers that already have 9 to 5s that are willing to go and help out, which is great. But take a homeless person off the street and make them a volunteer. Now they're not only are they working, but they're also working with animals, which is a natural therapy automatically. They don't even know that they're having therapy. So everything that they've been through on the streets and everything that they lost, they're going to gain so much more by gaining the love of an animal and working at the same time. And I feel like that's something that a city or a town or anywhere could do to help out as well,
Wow.
That is valid. That's a good point, though. Look at that. I like this guy triple, man.
I brought sound effects.
So moving on. Thank you, Jamie. Moving on. Let's talk about the next topic of discussion. That was actually really great. That hand clap. That was the segue. All right, so let's talk about France. Let's talk about a woman by the name of Jacqueline Genkel. I can't say it. Jacqueline Genkel. She is a 75-year-old woman in France who believes that she should decide when she can leave this earth. And that tends to pose, problems for a country where suicide is illegal, similar to America, and a country where in 2016 they enacted what's called the Leonetti laws, which said that if a patient is terminally ill, the doctors are allowed to sedate them until death. Where Jacqueline says that, no, this is not cool. I want to decide when I'm going to die. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to wait until I'm getting old and decrepit and terminally ill, and to where my family has to leave where they live and come and take care of me. I want to decide when to die. She chose January 2020. And if she kills herself in January 2020, it's considered a crime. That's the age-old riddle. Suicide is the only crime that if you commit, you don't get in trouble. But if you do attempt to commit, then you do get in trouble.
And it don't work out for
yeah.
you. You messed up.
So she is vice president of the ADMD, and she's also part of the Swiss group called Exit. and both companies are have been campaigning for about 30 years, pushing forward this this whole idea of humans who can become euthanized whenever they decide to. You know, I know it starts to become a religious matter for folks who believe that suicide is the end all that'll take you into a darker place. But this is what she believes. Do we care? Is this something that is going to affect anybody? Should she just do whatever she wants and then that's it? Should she campaign for this and should France allow anybody and everybody to decide to go whenever they want to legally?
It's a tough pill to swallow, because if you're somebody that's sick and you've been suffering and you just feel you're not going to make it anymore,
that's
right.
Different.
Now, I'm not in that situation, and
that's what's legal. If you are terminally ill and you're in pain, the doctors are allowed to sedate you. The Leonetti laws.
Okay.
They're allowed to sedate you until you just die.
Yeah.
You don't wake up.
Now, too, then there's a flip side to it. Is like, what if one day you're not in pain and you decided to off yourself at your own will?
That's what she wants to do.
And it's like, I don't know, like you were given life and your lifespan to go as far as it can for a reason. Now, again, I'm not in any terminal thing happening, but I would probably just tough it out. I have good days, I have bad days, but the choice, it's not my choice to make. Every time I cross the street, I take a chance. So if it's my time to go and somebody upstairs thinks it's my time to go
like by surprise.
Well, I mean, we all go by surprise. It's not like we know it's coming. Like, hey, death is at the door.
No,
see you
okay.
guys.
So basically, she grew up with. She survived both of her parents. Both of her parents died of cancer, breast cancer. And I forgot what the second one was.
Had
Alzheimer's,
like
and
yeah.
It ate his brain up, and he died. Like both of her parents died,
and she
terrible,
witnessed
horrible diseases, and she witnessed their suffering, and she didn't want to go through all that. She has a boyfriend who's 30 years younger than her. Apparently. He's like almost 40. She's 75. I don't know if he was just like waiting, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. This isn't that show.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with her. She got a facelift. She went hang gliding.
Hang gliding the other day. Yeah.
She's fit. She just wants to be able to decide when she goes.
Oh, she wants to.
She doesn't want to get to the point of.
Bottom line is she's selfish.
She wants to die on top.
She's selfish. She said she loves her grandkids. She loves her kids. She has 2 kids that live in different continents. I think they live in different continents
Bali
for
and
a
Berlin.
reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're the heck away from her. All right. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm reading about this woman, and,
well placed,
and I'm just like going, It
was on Vice. It was a Vice article.
Yeah, this woman is so into herself. That it's not even funny.
It's almost vanity.
It is. It's very much. And so she's wanting to be so selfish to take away time. I mean, I look at it like this. If something happened to my dad, okay, and I had to take care of him, I would look at it as a privilege and an honor to do that.
Because he took care of you
because
for
he
so
took
long.
care of me.
Right.
He reached down and grabbed me out of some places that he didn't have to.
Right.
And so it's just, to me, it's a different thing. That to me, it's having the privilege and honor, like I said, to do that.
Not everyone feels that way. People feel as though they have to take care of their parents. They have to pause their life for as long as their parents live, and then.
I understand that. I understand.
But they're your parents.
I look forward to the fact, of when I'm able to run around naked and you have to chase me. Okay. Because I'm old.
Make sure it's on video, right?
And I have no idea
what
who
a
you
sight.
are. And you have your own YouTube channel going, this is my dad naked again.
Look at him. He's on the lawn.
Chasing dad.
But
get away from that garden gnome.
But
what are you doing?
What's funny is
That's
that
not the ice cream.
Don't take our ideas, y'all.
It's it's a privilege to grow old. Not everybody is given that luxury to reach that age. And people people snipe it down like, I don't want to get old. How you know you're going to make it there? Because people are real confident walking around. And people drop like flies. Mm-hmm. Right? So here it is. People already dictating, well, if I get to 62, that's it. I'm calling it quits. Why? I mean, it is selfish, and unless you're dealing with something, but even if you're dealing with something, there's a point that you can recover. There's a certain, you're put in certain situations for a reason. You either grow from them or you get weak from them. You know, and that's the way I see it. I mean, I've been through my share of things, but I'm still here.
Now, to this lady's regard, she, when the interviewer was like, "Hey, well, you look pretty healthy," she's like, "Well, you're not 75. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what I feel
How
like.
do you know what I'm feeling?
How do you know what I'm feeling? So I can understand in that respect. Now, the way that I'm looking at it, and I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate. It's kind of like
Just don't play the music on your phone.
I think I got an old lady dying on the soundboard here. So oh my God, my hip! No, stop.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean to that regard, like it's like the reverse of being able to choose an abortion, right? We support most people support
It's
women's
their body.
rights.
It's their
It's your choice to if you want to bring another life into this world. Well,
Right.
On the flip side, it's her choice if she wants to continue walking around in this vehicle. My biggest question is, does she have a party? Like, should she throw a big shindig? Like, all right,
I think
this
she's
is
thinking
it.
about January 1st, so there's gonna be a lot of big parties around her.
Is there going to be a cake? Like,
Right.
Is it the opposite of a birthday party? Is it
like the ending of the movie Big Fish?
Right, but
when
see,
like he was like,
she's-
"It's not my time to go," and when he does, like everyone he knows is all
But
leading him to
what
the
she's
water.
doing is she's inflicting this on her family. So as soon as the new year starts, they have to deal with grief.
What if they didn't even know about it? What if they read that Vice article and they're like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?"
grandma?
Yeah,
Mom, the
and-
two
I
I mean,
sons.
there's a certain amount of power in it too, because you get to choose your own. You get to choose the way you go. You get to choose your own accommodations. You get to
I
choose.
think you only get to choose the way you go if you're.
I
Like,
mean, you
life
get to
or
choose
death
what
in
suits
prison.
you
If you're,
wear.
like, on a-
You get to
if you're on
choose. You
parole,
get to
on
choose
death-
what you're
death
wearing.
row.
You get to pick your coffin. You get to pick what plot that you want to go into. It's like
You
it's
get to
almost.
choose what happens to you after you die. But you don't
get to
really
choose
choose how to
everything.
die.
I think you get to choose how to die, don't you? Like you get
That'd
to
be
pick a pill.
suicide.
I mean,
Right.
I think that's what she's advocating for. She's
That's-
advocating for her own suicide, so she gets to choose how she wants to do it. Right? There's an amount of power in that, and I think in agreement with her, you take away the religious aspect of it all. You take away the God belief. You take away my soul is going to be eternally damned, and you just put it in the context of reality. Okay, when you die, there's nothing else. There's nothing that happens. There's definitely a certain amount of power in that choice of like, okay, I've lived this life. I've gotten this far. I've accomplished so many things. I've got kids. I've got grandkids. I've had a house. I've traveled across the world. I've done everything that I personally feel that I can accomplish in this world.
To
I
you,
think I'm
you've
done.
reached your.
Yeah,
Focus.
but see, here's
You
the
reach your
thing:
apex.
is
Yeah,
but-
I don't want to be throwing up and peeing on myself. I want
So you
I want
agree with her. You agree with what
in
she's doing.
I'm not gonna say I agree, but
I
I can
understand what he's saying.
it.
Right.
I
I
understand
can
what he's
understand
saying.
why you would want to choose that.
Jay, you haven't said anything in a while.
No, I'm waiting for him to finish.
Uh-oh.
He put the religious
so
portion.
polite.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
so put
putting
the
that
religious
aside.
portion in
I'm
there.
putting it back in.
Oh,
Okay, so
What you mean? Take God out of this?
I was raised with God, y'all.
yeah.
That's my mama.
Yeah. I cannot take God out of this. I mean, I've seen so many miracles. My brother died, like literally, legally dead, and came back. So I've seen so many miracles in my life. And the word says that no one will take their own life. Your life is not your own to take it. So, God's the one. He's the giver of life.
All right. No, that
He's the giver of life and permits it when it's going to be taken out. But you're not the one that should decide when to take it out because
You
you're,
don't- so you don't agree
you're not God.
you don't agree with what she's doing.
Well, if life,
No, I don't
I think that
agree.
people feel like if they've accomplished everything in life, then life would tell you you've accomplished everything and would stop. Right? You're just putting a period on an ongoing paragraph that's happening. You chose to put that period there. It's still going.
It's still
You know?
going, exactly.
And if this lady can hang glide, she is not as bad as all those other people who might be in their 70s who cannot do that.
That's true. I don't
And
know a
they're
lot of
they're
people
still
that are-
working, they're still surviving, they're still
trying.
hustling and pushing. But she's saying, "No, you know what? You don't know what it is to be 75." I wish I had the problem. I hope I can make it there. It's not a thing for me to be like, I got a ways to go before I get there. So I hope I can make it there. That is a privilege to get there.
oh, yes. His father is 77.
81.
He's 81, and he still works. And
How
he does
old
not
is
want
your
to stop.
grandfather?
God bless.
No, his father.
His father's father.
No.
No, his father.
His father.
All right, I don't know anyone in the family.
Papa Jess.
Apparently.
Papa Jeff.
I mean, you just found out you were a part of it today,
I
so
just found out I had a father.
we'll excuse you.
Roberto, your grandfather, who have you not met yet? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Papa Jess, he's 81. He just turned 81.
And he does not want to stop working.
He doesn't.
That's
I mean,
good.
it's just,
Insane.
Do it.
you know. But I mean, it's
amazing.
but the thing is, and here's funny about it. I don't want him to work.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, I want him to go and enjoy because I mean, he can still get around well. His mind is sharp. You know, I mean, it's just in fact, he and I are going to.
Aches and pains.
We're going to,
from
yeah,
of course.
I mean, of course.
old age.
But
I love him, man. I don't know why. He just reminds me of Dustin Hoffman for some reason.
He does.
He looks like Dustin Hoffman, doesn't
No,
he?
he does. He does.
Yeah, he does.
But
You gotta see his picture. He looks like
I mean,
Dustin
it's funny.
Hoffman.
He and I are actually going to take a little weekend road trip.
So you would be
You
Tom
know,
Cruise?
here in the next 3 weeks. Exactly.
Yeah.
He'll be Rain Man.
I have a shirt for it.
So,
be Rain Man.
and I'm just going to tell him, no, you can't drive.
Definitely
you
can drive.
You know, I can definitely
Definitely
drive.
drive.
Definitely
Definitely
drive.
drive.
But no, I mean, but the thing about it is that I want to do some of these things with him because
Right.
there will be a point in time where we won't be able to do that.
You're right.
You know, but going on what you were talking about, and I understand the fact of where she's coming from, but
Right.
she did not bring herself into this world.
That's right.
Facts.
She did not raise herself. She did not make the decisions of her life up until a certain point.
Right.
Whether it be 17, 18, 20, 25, whatever it was, when she began to make those decisions, other people made those decisions for her.
Good point.
You know.
I think her biggest thing was that those people that made those decisions for her, she saw when it got to a point that she had to make the decision for them as
She's
to.
afraid of suffering.
I think she's very afraid of
Yeah,
suffering.
she
I
is.
think we're all afraid of suffering. Like who wants to know that okay, at 87, that's when the bladder's gonna go, the liver's gonna go. I'm gonna need a tube. Like if
But you know what? That can happen at 27.
it can.
If
You're
it's,
right.
if it was
Exactly.
meant for it to happen, it will happen.
I
But that-
honestly
that
feel
was-
like if dogs can tell us, then they would just say it's their time. I feel like my dog told me when it was his time, and I had to listen to him.
Yeah.
You know?
That was her caveat. She put in there. I don't remember the specific age, but she said nobody below this age can make the decision for themselves. And what the
That's
law
right.
that she
It was
proposed.
An age thing.
Yeah.
It
It was
wasn't
an age
like
thing.
anybody at any time can decide
Right.
when to go. It's not like some kid like hates school. He's like, I gotta go. I'm done with
Yeah.
this life. No.
Well, because you open what you
She said
do is
after a
you
certain
open the
age,
door
you should be
to it,
allowed
right?
to-
So if a kid is being bullied at 15 and he was like, every day is going to be like this, and I'm not going to get any stronger, I
Then
want
he
to end
gets all
it. I want to
13
stop
reasons.
because now it's the same thing. Right? Because that kid can say, well, you don't know what it's like to be 13 and bullied by these people all the time, every day, and I got to go home and I got to deal with that kind of shame and
So
depression.
you're saying she's like
It's-
metaphorically bullied by life. And
She's choosing to be bullied.
No, she's bullying
She can-
herself.
She can go hang gliding. I'm not going no damn hang gliding. 'cause I got an
I
issue
ain't
going
going
hang
hang
gliding.
She's a cougar.
It might be
She's a cougar.
might be over for me. I might
think
hit a
it-
rock.
I think the gliding and the hanging part
I
is
think
where
she's
I'm
more of like
checking out.
I think she's more like a down mountain lion. She ain't a cougar.
Yeah. She's a yeti.
Yeah. She's a
a
yeti.
old
Exactly.
yeti.
She's a yeti. You could just look at her hair hanging down. She's a yeti.
You know when
Honestly,
when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Yes.
I have an aunt that was a stewardess and had a fight with her supervisor. She did not go on that flight, and that's the flight that Robert Clemente was in.
Oh,
that
wow.
fell down.
Wow.
Otherwise, she would have been on the
Roberto
flight.
Clemente?
Roberto, excuse me.
Was that
That's
named after him?
crazy.
Roberto Clemente. Yeah, she would have been on
Oh,
that
sure
flight.
you were.
it
Yes,
was
you
not.
were.
That's it.
Yes.
I was not named.
When it's your
Definitely.
time to go, it's your time to go. You know, enjoy the time that you have.
Let's bring all the secrets out.
I was named after Roberto Duran. No.
Every
All right, we
Roberto
gotta go to the
in
we gotta go to
history.
the next topic. You've
God.
all given amazing opinions, and I'm just here sitting down listening because that's what I do. It's my show. I can do whatever I want. So here we go. Animals. How much do we love animals? Apparently, Jamie's raising her hand. Apparently, there's this Idaho. Was that an animal sound?
It definitely was.
Yeah, it was an
All
elephant.
right. So,
Well
It is ready.
placed, sir. Well placed.
you gotta be in a morning show or something. I mean, like.
Hey, you know.
So, a man by the name of Blake Fisher, he was part of the Idaho Fish and Game board. He decided, this guy is a commissioner of the Idaho Fish and Game, I want to say department, and he decided to go on this nice little field trip to Namibia, Africa, with his wife, and show her what it takes to be a real man and hunt for sport. We're not talking about hunting for survival. We're talking about hunting for sport. And what he did was he went off and killed 14 animals in Namibia. He paid the government of Namibia to kill 14 animals, 14 defenseless animals. These aren't animals that were attacking him. We're talking about a giraffe, an oryx. We're talking about water buffalo. We're talking about a family of baboons that this man chose. We're talking about the babies, the mother, the father, the whole family of baboons. And there's a picture. So he went back to, oh man, I love animals. It's sort of a soft spot. But he went back to Idaho, and he sent out this email blast to 100 different coworkers, and decided that this was a good idea to send them all the pictures of his kills and a picture of the baboons, which is what broke the internet. And it wasn't just that, though. He said in the email, you know, those animals that survived were really happy to see me and my wife get back on that plane to the U.S. And so it made NBC News. It made CBS, ABC, Newsy. It basically had the government, his name is Butch Otter, ask for his resignation.
Wait, his name is Otter?
His name is Otter.
Otter.
And
Wow.
the fish,
Isn't that ironic?
rappers love to find connections, right?
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, this is really a sad situation. He. Okay, so we're talking about man versus nature. We're talking about hunting for sport versus hunting for survival. This isn't the first time it happened. We all know what happened to the dentist who killed Cecil the lion. He actually did something illegal, which is pull Cecil the lion out of the reservations into an open area to where he can kill the lion. This man, Blake Fisher, says, I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't do anything immoral. But you know what? You want my resignation? Here it is. Here's my resignation. And he's no longer around. I'm saying it should be more than just a resignation. There should be imprisonment. I think he should go back to
Honestly,
Namibia and face...
Life is life. You take a life, it is a life. You did not create it, and you do not have a right to take it. It did not disturb you and your well-being, so why should you have the right to pick and choose, oh, I'm going to just off this because I have the power to do it.
The money.
And
that's the thing, though. He has the money, and the video that I sent out to some folks was a video of Adam Conover, who I've been following since College Humor for years. He put out this, he has a TV show on True TV called Adam Ruins Everything.
Okay.
It's a great show. One of the segments on Adam Ruins Everything was him explaining to YouTube, explaining to True TV, to the viewers that, you know what, there's actually a positive side to people hunting for sport in Africa. And the positive side is that they pump hundreds of thousands of dollars into these communities, into these organizations that actually help animal preservation.
Right. So
they allow him to kill an animal so they can save hundreds.
How it basically worked is when people come into these countries to kill the animals, what they use the revenue that they generate from the actual animal kills, they use it to pay people who will actually create reserves and protect other animals on the reserve from people who will unregulatedly kill animals, such as poachers who kill elephants for their tusks and rhinos for their horns and
That's
stuff
such
like
a hard
that.
thing to take in, knowing
So yeah,
that one
it's
animal has to die for the good of like the rest of their
it's
crew.
a catch-22. And from what I understand it, what they usually do is they kind of pick and choose which animals. Like, you know, there's a male that's in the woods and that's in the jungle, and he's aggressive and he's past breeding age. So yeah, and one of the examples that I saw that they gave is like the white rhino population kind of quintupled after they implemented this system where, okay, you want to come and you want to exercise your quote unquote manhood by shooting down an animal. Well, you have to pay X amount of dollars, and we'll use those dollars in the protection of animals. It's a hard thing to swallow, but it's understandable. The thing about this guy in particular is the irony of he's the commissioner. I think it was. He was very high up in
That's
the
what makes
Idaho.
the article so interesting.
Yeah, he's high up in the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Commission,
Right.
And then he goes there to kill these animals, and then he's so like ecstatic about it. I think that was the thing that really cost him his job. I mean, if you know, people pay to go on these gaming reserves all the time to go kill animals, but the
They don't
fact,
boast about it.
yeah,
Me and Hal and I were just talking about it. He wasn't bragging on the email that, hey, I just raised the GDP of Namibia. No, he says, I killed these animals. Look at these pictures of
Yeah,
these
look
dead
at
animals.
He didn't feel like he did anything wrong. He said
Exactly.
it's legal to do that.
He
It's
resigned
just
because
the way
it
he
looked
did
bad.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
it's so funny the topics that are on the board today, because now let's just say times are different, and I can go to this country and pick off people. Oh, they're homeless. We don't need them. And I think they can be prized.
That
And-
is
and-
crazy.
And
That was in Hard Target, Van Damme movie.
It was Van Damme?
and it's true.
Was
though.
Ice-T in that movie?
It's true because you start with animals, and then it's gonna evolve into something else,
Which is
right?
crazy. It's
And
like,
now,
you
and
got to
then-
kill this homeless family so they
and
can
then-
save hundreds
But
others.
see, you know what? This is what mankind gets, because now you have all of these diseases, and you've been knocking off these animals, which probably have the cure for the things that are killing you.
Wow.
Right? So nature will balance itself, and it's just stupidity, and it's like you're disrupting nature. So now then, this tornado came and it destroyed my home. Good for your ass. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry that I cursed. Sorry.
You're
But-
talking about people who've lived through
but-
so many hurricanes in Florida.
But think about it. You are disrupting nature, and nature is not going to tell you, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that." Nature is going to fix you, because now these animals were put here for a reason, and it balances the world in a certain way. And of course, science hasn't figured it out yet. But however, nature will tell you, "Oh, you think you're bigger than everybody else on here? Let me put you in your place." And since like 10 years ago, the world's temperature has changed. The world has been changing. The weather has been changing because man has gotten so more advanced, right? But nature's telling you, you are just like everybody else on this planet. Stay in your lane. You are not above anybody else.
We got our first caller.
Oh, sorry. See, I probably done got y'all in trouble because I cursed, man. I'm sorry.
It's a family of chimps.
Is someone actually calling?
He knows.
All right, we have our first caller. Do you have a question for us? Hi.
What's up, Boozy News?
Boozy News, how you doing? Who is this?
This is AD.
AD, can you please let us know who you are exactly?
Hello?
AD, we can't hear you. Did he just call Boozy News to say hi? Because he could have done that like on Facebook instead of interrupting. AD, are you still on the phone?
I think he might have got mauled by some
AD, are
animals.
you still on the phone? That's hilarious. He just said, hello, Boozy News. This is AD. Okay. So what am I pressing here?
Next caller.
The red button?
That's awesome.
Hello, you're on with Boozy News again, maybe. May I ask you speaking?
What's up, guys? What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Who is this? AD, where you from?
Also known as AD. From the Bronx, currently residing in Brooklyn. Shout out to
Okay.
Jay, shout out to Triple X. Shout
You?
out to Extra.
Oh, so you know these
Baby.
guys.
AD, what
I
up?
know you too. What's up, Roberto?
Hey, how you doing? All right, so caller, what is your
Roberto
question?
Okay, so I've been tuning in, listening to a whole bunch of stuff. You guys talking about homelessness overseas, animals right now, all this stuff, and I think, my opinion, a lot of this stuff is just, obviously it's mental. Like,
Wait,
people
what part
think
is mental?
differently,
The
man.
animal part or the... Like, which
Well,
part is
everything.
mental?
All right, so
Homeless.
the animals, these guys going out and killing
Animal.
animals, like, why? The hell
Okay.
happened to you as a kid?
Exactly.
Okay, so you're saying that's they're sort of like making up for something. This is like them being tough
You know?
guys. They could just spend money and kill animals, and Africa's just profiting off of
Overcompensating
it.
in their own little physical way, taking it back to the homelessness mentally, we see these people as like you guys were saying, we ignore them. Why? Because we think we're better than them,
Okay. So, okay, let's just say that we killed off. There's no more poachers. There's no more men coming from the U.S. or rich people coming and killing animals for sport. then what is your solution to maybe solving a crisis, say like homelessness in Namibia? Instead of like, how do we keep animals from becoming extinct?
All right. I don't know about the animals, but I have one solution for the homelessness. You guys ready? Welcome to the train.
Welcome to the train.
All right.
Okay. I have no idea. I'm not an expert on this, but it's something that we could all work together. Jamie, I like your idea about the homeless guys, like, doing something productive with their time.
Okay. Awesome. Wow.
But yeah, good stuff, guys. I'm gonna let you go. It's freezing. Gotta pull some clothes.
All right, AD. Thank you so much for your input, AD.
Man, have a good one, guys.
Enjoy the weather out there.
AD.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Wow.
Later.
That was our first and only caller of Boozy News.
Awesome. That was amazing.
6:15. We got to get into the next topic. Hal, I'm sorry. I know you had so much to say about the animal discussion before.
I'm gonna cry.
I know. Yeah. Well, and then we all ended up talking about it, and you didn't say anything because I know for a fact we were talking last night about hunting for sport versus hunting for survival.
The thing about it is I used to be a big hunter, okay, and I'm still a big fisherman. But the thing about it is that when you were raised the way that I was, you were raised to eat. You kill what you eat. I fish for sport. I throw back almost everything. That's what I mean. My wife, when she first started
catch and release,
she was like, "Yeah, exactly." She was like, "Why aren't you throwing it back?" I go, "Because I'm just catching it."
He was a cat, right?
Like, I thought we were having sushi tonight.
So, yeah.
You're there an hour and a half, catch one, and you're back.
You're gonna throw it back? What is
why?
This?
But no, I mean, and then the aspect of hunting, you hunted for
the
for
fish
meat.
back. He's like, let's go to Red Lobster.
I mean, that meat that you killed, basically. And if you look at, I mean, there's, you put it in the freezer, you eat over the winter or something like, especially places that don't get fresh meat. They can't have fresh meat and stuff like that during the wintertime. This is how they support themselves and how they eat. But what this guy did, I'm sorry, is an idiot. I mean, seriously, he is just he is a bona fide idiot, plain and simple, because he is actually in what we call Freshwater and Game Commission, okay, or the Fish and Game Commission, whether it be saltwater, freshwater. You're there to protect and conserve, the animals and the fish. You're not there to do what this guy was doing, and you're there to go after people. Like in Florida, we have a lot of people that like to go hunt alligators, okay?
Oh, wow, okay.
All right, well, you can get a license to go hunt an alligator, okay, and you can get tags and you can get them, but there's still idiots that go out there and they get them and take their airboats out in the swamps and then get these guys and bring them back in. Well, I happen to know a guy that did that, all right, and he's still to this day. I haven't seen him in a few years, but last time. I'm sure because this was like 30 years ago. This guy drives his truck out with an airboat, okay, has his guns, has everything in his airboat, gets a gator, gets back, game warden's waiting for him, all right? Now, he's illegally killed this gator.
Wow.
They take his truck.
Oh, wow.
They take his boat. They take everything in it.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't just be a resignation.
Exactly.
There should be more than
exactly. That. So he took everything because this guy violated the law. Now, unfortunately, this guy didn't violate the law. This was more of a...
That's how they operate over there.
This was allowed in
this was
Mr.
allowed
Otter.
there. But but the thing about it is that this guy had no remorse for what he did.
Right.
And so
that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and that's really the wrong aspect. He shouldn't have been the guy. He shouldn't have been in a position that he was in. And maybe by this happening, maybe they'll vet these people a lot better. This guy probably has some serious issues about killing things.
Like, if you had a lot of money, would you go to Africa and start killing animals?
Well, see, that's the other thing, too. If he's a commissioner, I know down in Florida, Freshwater and Game Commission guys, they don't make a lot of money because that's actually what I wanted to be. And when I found out that, you go and you graduate from college,
so where do you get this money from?
And your starting salary is $12,800.
14 animals, one animal alone could be a few
I understand
thousand.
that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
That's
his
crazy.
wife or whatever, I don't know. But those guys don't make a lot of money. They do it because they truly love it. So obviously there was some other issues
They love to kill
with this
things
guy.
that cannot fight back.
Most freshwater and game commissions do not. They do not kill. They do not. They may be hunters.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. and they like to fish, but they fish and they hunt for what they eat.
Well, right. It's a purpose that they're doing it. He just did it.
Right.
There was no purpose. He didn't take the meat. He didn't do anything.
Right.
He wasn't making a coat with
A
it. Not to
family
say
of
that
baboons.
Yeah.
If you
Not-
saw the picture, you would cry.
Yeah.
No, well,
those things are wrong. But I mean,
he's destroying nature.
yeah. Well, no, he's not really. That's in that area. He's not, and that's the thing. Triple was talking about the fact that
He called you Triple. That's awesome.
That's dope.
if you look at that's the only way I know him.
That's awesome.
I mean, I wasn't going to call him Dexter X or whatever.
That is a true.
I did not want the guy to come slapping me
brilliant.
across here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's
We adopted him
not
as
my name.
Triple.
Dexter X.
So,
That is awesome.
We adopted him as Triple.
They just put us together. That's what they did. That was dope.
New name. Dexter X.
but no, I mean,
Poindexter.
That's two X's.
so, but realistically, in those areas down there, they are like what you were talking about. Went from 100 rhinos to 8,000
Right.
rhinos. Okay, the population increased like it never had before.
Because they had the money to do so.
Exactly.
And they,
so now,
they were able to have the money to keep poachers away.
exactly.
Too.
And so that money, though, now is basically helping that country survive because it's the safaris are not hunting safaris. Now they're able to see, what God has created in the way that these
Ecotourism
animals.
now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Ecotourism is booming.
I would hope tourism alone can pay more than bringing in a hunter to kill an animal so they can breed and bring in more tourism.
Well, you know what it is. It's what it's up against, right? Because a rhino horn they were saying is like $2,900 per $29,000 per rhino horn
Or
to cure
wow.
cancer, hangover. I actually watched something on it was on Netflix. A reporter was just following the money of where these rhino horns were going, and
that's sad.
and they go to a lot of Asian countries. They use it for everything. They grind it up. They snort it like it's like a power symbol to them. They do crazy.
It's like deer peanut.
There was actually a rap down about that. The first lady of Zimbabwe, she was actually known for smuggling ivory out of Harare.
Really?
In Zimbabwe.
really?
No, it's true.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The president of Harare, his wife, she was caught for smuggling all kinds of. You can see in the bunker. There's like just ivory everywhere. From
Oh, wow.
elephants,
Yeah, that's
rhinos,
crazy.
Everything.
And I mean that's
Thank you, though. Thank you for letting me, chime in.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what we do. I know the time right now. We're leaking a little bit past 6, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Her next group isn't coming in until 7, but yeah, same thing. Like my main concern is poachers because I actually know somebody. I knew somebody.
You know
He's
poachers?
still around.
Oh, wow.
He's still around, but he was like hired to. I replaced him in our workplace because he came back from Africa. And he was like, "I'm glad I left this job because my calling was to go to Africa and find poachers." That was his whole deal.
Oh, so
To
he was
find-
finding
he was a
them.
poacher hunter.
Oh, wow.
That was his whole job was to go out
That's
and
crazy.
find hunt people who hunt animals.
That would
That's
be cool.
That's crazy.
How do you get a job? A guy. Well, he was
knows a
taking
guy.
care of other customers, and a customer
know a
told
guy.
him he was like, "Hey, if you're not not too sure what you're doing with your life right now, I know a group. It's like a militant version of Greenpeace.
Can you
like
shoot
radical
them?
Greenpeace. I don't think you're allowed to shoot them. I
It's
think
another
just like-
country?
it's like bounty.
It's like
hunter.
Dog the
Bounty
Bounty
hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah,
like-
what if
it's
you
like
shot
Dog
him
the
with
Bounty Hunter,
you
you're not
can
allowed
shoot
to
him with
kill them.
rock salt.
I'm pretty sure you
Ooh,
can shoot
rock
them.
salt fucking hurts.
I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want as long as you capture them. As
That's
long as you
crazy.
find them and capture them, and then
shoot them with rock salt.
report them to the local officials. You have to do your bit.
So
do your
you're a
thing.
bounty hunter,
Hal, I'm
basically.
not coming
You're a
on
You're a
your
bounty
bounty
property
hunter
at
for
all.
poachers. You're a poacher hunter. And the thing is, he
crazy.
said that he was in this group of people with this woman who was all tattooed up and she was very beautiful. So they made a show and made her look like she was the leader of the group because she had the look
Yeah.
for TV.
Right.
And he was in the group and he was like, no, she was totally not the leader. She just had the look for TV.
So it's
So
like
they made
reality,
they made
yeah.
poacher hunting
A thing. It's a thing now.
a reality show which didn't even look real, but in real life he was like, no, there were people that we had to go after that were part of the animal ivory cartel or whatever.
Oh, really? It's
He was
that
fearing
big.
for his life all the time, but he knew that this was his calling. And all I'm saying is that
What is the name of that show? Like,
I gotta
it's
look
like
it up. This is
Bear
something
the
like 3
Poacher
years
Hunter.
ago. Bear the Poacher Hunter. Naked and
Yeah,
Afraid.
I've learned a lot.
Naked.
Naked and Afraid.
Sounds like my last date, but never mind.
Yo,
Hi-yo. I'm here all week.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
oh my gosh! I can't. It's talking about you or her? Okay, it doesn't matter. That's a whole other
It was
podcast.
mutual.
That's a whole
I've had too much wine.
Naked and Afraid. Oh my god, you just made yourself. It's 2018. Man. Okay. Anyway, this is gonna go back and bite you. Like when you blow up, you're gonna be like, okay, remember that one time? You made me
Nah, I'm never mad.
We saw the show.
All right, here we go. We talked about this, my parents and I, since Thursday. This is an ongoing thing. We went back to talk about the homelessness, which resulted in us talking about the lottery. This is our last topic of discussion. The lottery reached $1.6 billion on Friday. No one won. They know that for a fact because they know all claim tickets, and no one made all 6 numbers. But if you did have the numbers, just so you know, the numbers were, if they were really close, if your numbers were really close, everyone plays the same numbers all the time. Birthdays and holiday, whatever. The numbers on Friday were 15, 23, 53, 65, 70, and the ball was 7.
I had 7 right.
Right. Okay, which you could have probably won like $1,000 or so.
Just so you got it right.
This is a big deal. We're talking money now. To me, I'm not a big fan of money, but I know everyone else around me is. Next Tuesday is going to be the next Powerball, and or Mega Millions, and if no one wins this one, it's going to be the highest prize ever awarded to anyone in the U.S. ever.
Oh wow.
Let's see. The last group of people who actually won the last jackpot was a group of office workers.
Nice.
In July, they won $543 million altogether.
Wow.
If you do something like that, there better be contracts involved because whoever holds the tickets,
Yeah.
you'll never see them again.
Not at all.
Crazy.
So anyway, we're talking money. We're talking about Mega Millions. The Powerball, I believe, is $430 million now, and then it's skyrocketing to like 500 something. It doesn't matter. We all know what happens, whether or not you get a lump sum or if you get like annual payments with installments of 30 years. The lump sum, you're automatically half of whatever the jackpot is. So whenever you say you're a billionaire, you're not a billionaire. You just got like $500 million instead. But then you're taxed on that $500 million and
Right.
1 point something million, and then you end up with like $400 million. Only $300 or $400 million, guys.
That's it? Jeez.
Hey, it was $304 million that I had to begin with.
I'm disgusted by that.
The Powerball, the Mega Millions, is played in 44 different states. It's also played in the U.S. Virgin Islands and in D.C. How much do we love money? What would happen if you won the Powerball? Would you give all your money away, or would you put it into certain businesses? Hal, I'll start with you because you ended with the last one. I want you to start with this one.
You know, I'm a business guy, so basically for me, it's really about helping. That kind of money, you can help so many people.
You're helping people
amazing.
already, so you're basically
Exactly.
just like you said with rappers, like you're just basically gonna be doing what you were already doing.
Yeah, I am. And so realistically, our businesses that we have help people.
Nice.
In our company, Creating a Better You, has done that. So we would do that. We would do it on a much larger scale.
The company is actually called A Better You.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Yes.
It's
Nice.
awesome.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, A Better You, and it's
Nice.
the letter U.
The letter U.
Yeah.
LLC.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
LLC.coms, yeah. So, but it realistically for us, we've talked about it. We really have, that because it changes your life. But more importantly, you have to have a mindset for that because we're going to talk about it earlier, but a lot of people go broke. They get
Right
that kind
away.
of money and they go broke right away because they try to do this.
1/3 of
You know.
lotto winners go bankrupt within the first year.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
if you win
crazy
money like that,
statistic.
we have 5 kids that we know of, but no. Actually, I have 6 now. Triple just came with us. So
That's
Yeah,
true.
we found
You
it.
know,
We
found
just
him.
found
Yes,
it.
found
You
it.
know, so,
That's it.
God, the things you find in New York. Wow.
It's
My
true.
brother
It's
Dex
amazing.
Dexter X.
So Dexter X.
X.
So
But,
we're a combo. We're
It's
like-
true.
He's the X sibling.
In together.
But the thing is that, we were actually talking about the fact that do you want to put that kind of burden on your kids? Do you want to just all of a sudden say, here's $20 million? Because realistically, that's a burden. I
That is a
honestly
burden.
believe.
You can burden me, Dad.
Yeah. But I'm saying, we have 5 kids, and realistically,
Hallelujah.
there's probably one that we would be okay with.
It's
All
not
right.
Roberto.
What's that?
No, I'm saying Roberto's very conscious about what he spends, and then the girl is she's very budget. She is majorly budget. So
That's my sister.
giving them a lump sum,
Okay, nice.
you know,
AJ.
they could do that, but the other boys, nah.
Oh no, I didn't watch it.
No. So, but an annuity, though, if you bought an annuity for them, okay. So again, being wise about helping people, so you help your kids, you know. And I mean, my parents naturally, you know, they don't ever have to worry about anything anymore, and all their stuff's paid for, that kind of thing. And so, but you have to be cautious, because if you do that if we did that with our kids, we would hurt them. I honestly believe we would hurt them giving them that kind of money, because it would just be gone. So if you do it in an annuity, okay, to where they in turn get X amount of dollars, you know, every year, then they will at least have that.
Do they know that they're getting this annuity, or are they not aware of it?
No, they wouldn't be aware.
It's best that they're not aware.
Yeah, actually, Jay can really expound upon that, because she's really kind of, you know, we want to help our kids. Don't get me wrong. You know, we do want to help other people, but we want to do it in a way that literally educates them. So yeah, it educates them before they receive anything like that.
Right, you're right. Jay, he's segueing to you.
Everything you said, but let me add.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so, you know, we've given so much money away, and this is not even, nothing to do with, you know, the lottery. We didn't
just
even
given
play.
money away before.
Yeah, exactly. And we've given so much away, always helping people. And maybe sometimes not the right people, so we have to be
I
we have
gotcha.
to be
Yes.
we have to be very
Gotcha.
wise
Gotcha.
and have more discernment as to who we give it to.
Ask some specific questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you kill a family of baboons in Africa if
No,
I gave you
absolutely,
$100,000?
absolutely not.
They lose.
But one of the things that you know, we have talked about, let's say if something like this would ever happen, besides helping the organizations that we would want to help, is if the kids are going to have anything at all, they have to be educated.
Right.
We will not give anyone a
you put
single
money into their
cent
education before you actually
unless
give them money.
they're educated financially, how to budget, how to, you know, what to do with their money, invest in the right areas. Yes, definitely get out of debt. That's one of the first things. Okay,
Right.
get out of debt. But here, start your own business. This is what you would do. What do you like? Okay, let's go that route. But you're going to invest because otherwise it'll be gone within a year. The annuities, of course, that's even a better idea. They don't know how much they're going to get,
So you're
but at least you
suggesting that
know.
even if you didn't give the money to your kids, if you just won the jackpot, your best bet is to probably get a financial planner. And,
Oh no, absolutely. We
yeah.
already have one, anyways. But but depending on the amount, if you see that we disappear, you know what happened.
What?
Right. Whoa.
Menendez brothers? What's going on?
We won't send you the address.
No, we're talking like the Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay.
disappeared
Oh, no,
kind of
going to
thing.
another country.
I thought
Not like someone's
I thought-
after them.
I thought the other three kids were like, you know what? Okay.
No.
But no,
Nobody,
you know-
no, nobody would know. No.
But you know what? She brought up a valid
No,
point. I
we
mean,
wouldn't tell anybody
You know,
anyways.
our accountant, you know, our financial, you know, is planner is someone we trust.
Yes.
You know, I've known her ever since I was a kid. You know,
Oh, nice.
And so,
Okay.
You know, so she's, you know, and we know that she would make the proper decisions as to what we need to do and guide us in those directions, and that's very, very important. You know, that you and I talked about that the other day. You know, it's because again, if you don't educate, if you don't trust, you know, then you can get taken. I mean, you see it happen all
Like
the
Liam
time.
Neeson's daughter.
You know, yeah. You
Oh
know?
wow,
Exactly.
really?
So yeah,
Taken like Liam Neeson's daughter.
yeah, like take. Yeah.
I got you now.
Yeah, now, yeah.
I wouldn't want to go public.
But there
I
are-
wouldn't
but there-
anybody
Yeah,
to
but in
know.
these states, there are only 6 states you're allowed to be anonymous.
Anonymous,
Most
really?
states
Yeah.
you're not allowed to be
Oh
anonymous.
really? I did not know
But you
that.
have
There's
to.
a loophole.
There is a loophole. You can hire a lawyer to be
Represent.
in name for you.
Yes.
Nice.
In name for you means represent.
Right.
Represent
No, I
you.
mean basically you can set
I
a
would
corporation
do. I would
up.
have to do that. Yeah.
So what you
have
do
to.
is you set a corporation up, and that attorney is the legal counsel for that corporation, who will in turn be able to take
Exactly.
the check.
And
Gotcha.
we've
we
read.
will legally change our names.
There was that woman in Jamaica. I don't know if y'all saw that picture, but there was
Dexter
a
X.
woman in Jamaica who put a smiley face mask over herself.
Yeah.
I
Whenever
saw
they took
that.
pictures, like she put a like a smiley face like mask
Nice.
over herself.
That's
She's
cool.
like this, and the smiley face is like a wink. what? And so she's all with all her friends and family, the big check, and she's, you know.
I mean,
can't tell who she
it kind
is.
of gives away if you got the friends and family.
If you got the
is
friends
that
and family,
Susan? Susan?
That is Susan.
No one invited me to that.
Susan from Kingstown.
Susan from by the beach.
Put a mask on everybody. Put a mask on the whole
That's
family.
Susan by the beach. We
Put
know
a mask
what
on
she
the whole
did.
family.
Oh my God.
So I did read a couple articles about how like what happens if like once you win, and that's a big deal. They say, everyone says, every expert, every lawyer who deals with lottery winners, every psychologist, psychiatrist, they all say, take a breath, take a deep breath. As soon as you win, you have to breathe, or else nothing's gonna go right as far as what's going on in your head. You need to take a deep breath. After that, don't tell anybody
Yep, you're right.
that you won. Friends, family,
what I
it doesn't
tell you.
matter. Don't tell anyone because you haven't won yet. You didn't get the money yet.
Right.
That whole big check thing, you don't get the money within like 10 to 14 days. And then once you get it, once it goes into your bank, do something with it. Don't tell
Right.
everyone right away.
Right.
Because it's like once it's in your bank, people, for the most part, 1/3 of Americans are going to overreact. Once it's in your bank, make that conscious decision to where it's going to go next, and make sure that you're taken care of first, and that everyone around you who you love the most is taken care of with
Next.
still
Right.
without their
Right.
knowledge. And then find a financial planner to let you know. Find a financial planner and don't tell the financial planner why you have
Or
a
how
financial
much.
planner.
Or how
Really?
Or
That's
how
deep.
much. Don't tell them.
Right.
You could say that you came across money. They're not your lawyer. It's your financial planner who's just assisting you. They're giving you advice on how to like spend
What
your
to
money.
do with your money.
An inheritance.
Right. Let's just say like, hey, I just got a lump sum of money. What do I
Billy
do
Bob
next?
just died.
Right. So they're gonna let you know what to do next, and more than likely they're gonna tell you to put your investments into different whatever, like assets, not liabilities. Everyone gets those confused.
Right.
And then clear out your debts. Make sure that whatever investments are happening, and then live your life. But don't be like the 1/3 of Americans who just choose to just spend like the MC Hammer situation. You get a lot of money and then you go broke by giving all your money
Well,
to people.
again,
Your entourage.
You know, somebody who didn't have money before, and you gave them a lump sum of money. What did you think was going to
They're
happen?
gonna come back and ask for more money.
Well, the ball players now all go through.
Oh yeah, they have.
You
Yeah,
know, they
have
actually go
to.
through a course now. They're taught about how to
Right.
spend their money and how to.
So
you know,
smart.
Yeah, very much so.
the NBA set that up.
Yeah,
I
yes, they
believe.
did.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they did.
you know those guys. They start out okay, and again, you know, they came
Their
from
contract
they
comes
came
with
from
money.
struggling. You know, they came from the hood. So then when they get to I'm a star. Oh, let me buy a $1 million car. Let me buy, and none of that stuff in the long run will benefit them in life. You know, it's just for show. You know, you want your money to make money for you, right? And the best thing you can do is probably buy real estate, get real estate. So, you know, if it was me, what I would do is like, oh, I want to buy this property from whoever owns it. Now I'm going to build a complex for the homeless. They can live in there, right? So, again, I'm not probably going to get taxed on that, but
Exactly.
Oh,
every
yes.
every category
Yes.
that we talked
Sorry.
about
it's
was
the
Oh,
wine.
yeah. No. That's
So, you know, I would do that first. And then, because the family will be taken care of. It was like, look, you're not going to have any issues with anything. I got you. Call me. I got you. I will deal with it. Because it's safer. You know, I'm really tight with money. So it's like, it's safer with me. You know, I don't have a driver's license, so I'm not going to buy $1 million car. For what? I don't need it. I'm not going to buy jewelry, you know, and then my circle will stay my circle. Just you don't invite other people into that circle. If I don't know them,
your circle
they-
always ends up getting married to somebody, and then the
well,
circle
that,
has a
that
kid.
they got to deal. They got to deal with that because I wasn't dealing with their
Prenup.
I wasn't dealing with their finances
We
prior
want
to that.
prenup. We want prenup.
You know,
Yeah.
listen. If I get caught up, hey, God bless. But if I have a child with that woman, know that she or that child will not have to worry about anything.
Like Blue Ivory.
You
Blue
know what I'm
Ivy.
saying?
Blue Ivory.
It would be like, look,
Ivory?
you're fine,
Is that her
but
sister?
you know, you gotta have some kind of survival instinct, right? So I think too, it's a disadvantage if you had that much money to give to your kids because now your kids don't know how to survive on their own because daddy got it, he'll take care of it, and it's like, you know, you're taking away your survival instinct. how would you might invent something that will change the world, and I just took it away from you because you know you have $100 million sitting in a bank account.
They don't understand the value of a dollar, is what you're saying.
Right.
Bill Gates, who is obviously one of the richest people ever, only gave his kids $10,000 each when they turned 18.
Oh, that's amazing.
$10,000 out of the billions of dollars that he had. And he said, this is all you're going to get. You have to work for the rest of what you have. Because he did.
Bill Gates was like, that was more than I got. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But it's true though. It's yo, you got a head start. $10,000 it's enough money.
We just went to from PG to X.
We didn't race you that way,
Dexter
Triple
X.
X.
He can say the F word.
That's
it's
it.
okay.
Dexter X.
We didn't race you that
He
way.
can say the F word if he wants.
Sorry.
That's
said
why
she
we
didn't
got
raise
Boozy
me that way.
News.
I thought I was the
We
bad
did not
guy.
race you that way.
We didn't raise you that way, sir.
He said one F
Honey,
word. That's
honey,
still
honey,
PG.
get the soap
Two.
out of your pocket.
Two.
Get the soap
Two?
out
I
of your
said
pocket.
two?
You said two F words?
That's good.
Yeah.
Pat,
Oh my God, my mom's counting F words.
I saw her writing
She's a
notes down. I
mom.
know
She's a mom.
You know what?
She got
Like,
this.
she's like, that's two.
She's like, that's it. You're out of the annuity.
Yeah.
Look, he has such a sweet smile.
He's
Look
out
at
of
that
the
face.
annuity.
I didn't raise him that way.
You didn't-
Okay.
You only raised him the last 2 hours.
Honey, you're not doing a good
so
job.
sweet.
Two F-bombs in 2 hours,
F-bombs
honey.
in
You're
2
not doing a
hours?
great
Oh,
job.
no.
We just found him, remember?
This
We've
is
been looking
terrible.
for
Yeah,
him
that's right.
for years.
That's right. I've been living on the streets of New
And you
York
found
all
some-
alone.
You found some
All alone
random
for all
building.
these years, okay?
So what would you do if you won the
What
lottery?
would you do if you won 1.6 billion?
2 words, 5 syllables. Cocaine and prostitutes. No,
Oh
I'm
my
just-
God!
We did not race you that way.
We didn't
Listen, that's
raise
what
you.
all the other rich people do. Hey, he's not lying.
I'm just following suit.
He's
No.
going to be in the. He's going to be in that third.
Hold on, answer this question because they were asking me like, you have a wife?
I do.
Wait, but do you have a kid?
I actually have 2 kids and I have one on the way. So
I had
Nice.
no idea.
Congratulations.
All right, do it, man.
Oh, we're grandparents
Congratulations.
again.
Wait, he's got a soundbite for this.
We're grandparents again.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay,
coming.
okay.
We never allowed our kids to cry.
Stiffen that upper lip.
Stiffen.
No. Being from the South, we just gave moonshine. It worked out.
That always works. That always
Right, I
works.
just got drunk.
What are you crying here? Here.
News.
Here's some Cabernet. I mean, no. Realistically, I would do like all of the traditional stuff. Take care of the family. You know, make sure that I set up things that make money for me.
Right.
Amen.
You know, things like that. And after that point, after I'm taken care of, I would do my best to try and help people that don't have that, you know, those outlet, those avenues in order to do for themselves.
We all say that, but how do we do that exactly?
You know,
Like, we can't just like give our money to the
yeah,
Red Cross because we don't know
Research.
where it's
No, I
gonna go.
definitely wouldn't do that.
Research.
I mean, you can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. You teach him how to fish, he'll eat for life, right?
I've never heard
So
that before.
I would set up.
That's right.
I just wrote that. What are you talking about?
Nice.
Mike Mezzle.
Mike Mizzle, what's up?
Train a child the way they should go, and they will never depart from it. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote that too?
Yep.
She did. I
Oh,
saw
no,
her.
how I was
That's-
using Mike
that's
Mezzle's
a-
work.
that's in the
We have,
work.
Bars.
we have a friend of ours named Mike Mezzle. Whenever someone says something, he's like, "Yeah, I wrote that.
I wrote that.
That's in the word of
I wrote
God.
that.
But yeah, a lot of it would definitely go into training and teaching people, teaching the next generation, teaching the next set of people that are gonna inherit this planet, inherit this country. You know, which again is another one of the big problems that we have is a lot of people that we have in charge in this country won't live to see the effect of the decisions that they're fucking making, which is crazy.
That's 3 strikes.
That's it. That's the last one.
You know, I thought
I've
I was the
maxed out.
potty mouth, but he got me.
I've maxed out on my
Sweet.
profanity.
3 strikes, you're out.
Strikes.
I've maxed out on the profanity.
All right, he said what he had to say. Jade, I know we're out of here. Sorry, Jade, but real quick, you haven't said anything all day. What would you do if you won $1.6 billion?
I mean, I don't know. I was going to be asked.
That's how
I mean,
roll.
the same thing. Just make sure everybody's taken care of. If I won that much money, probably buy a houses in a couple cities, a car for each one.
Okay, baller.
Okay. That's Jade. All right, we have to get out of here, but before we get out of here, just real quick, I know it's usually the last 10 minutes of the show. We allow everyone to plug in their projects, but just let us know what you're working on real quick. Let us know how everyone can find you. Websites, Instagram handles, Twitter handles. We'll start with X.
All right.
What do you do
So-
exactly? Just Plug it in.
Oh man,
What are you working on?
Well, right now, I'm working on. We're doing the haunted basement out in Brooklyn next weekend, and Halloween if you're around.
We have so many muscles. I feel like you allow other people to develop muscles.
Yeah, so I'm a personal trainer. I teach fitness classes. I teach preschool.
You teach fitness classes and he teaches preschool.
Oh yeah, I love the children. Listen, man.
I have personally been.
We've been in a couple of his training
Facts.
courses.
Yeah.
That's facts.
I thought you guys were in the preschool.
We've been to a couple of his preschools.
We've been to the
He's doing
preschool.
his thing.
Well, you've been in the building where they're at, so.
So you got a haunted house.
Yeah,
party.
and also it appears that our Ghoul Jitsu, we may be doing a segment for Channel 11 News.
Oh wow!
Actually, in a
Jitsu.
couple of days, I'm gonna have to.
Let's talk about it. Yeah,
so
yeah.
cool,
Yeah,
so cool.
So, and also the TV show hopefully will be coming soon.
Nice.
Jamie, give me your glass so I can. I was trying to signal. Oh, you're fine.
Jamie's good.
All right, Dexter X,
Dexter X. Well,
Triple X. What else? What else? What are you plugging in right now?
Right now, I'm working on getting a couple of nuclear weapons so that I can aim them
At Viktor Orban in Hungary.
at developed nations and demand $1 billion. No, I'm just kidding.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. No.
Well placed.
I got a band called the Ashy Elbows. Of course, we got a website called nolotion.com. You can follow us on Instagram, ASHYLBOWZ. Yeah, we're dyslexic. We did
So the
not.
the letter L and then Bose.
And Bose. And you can follow me personally, King Triple, KINGTRIPL, no E with a 3, because I like to be, difficult that way. I'm working on
Triple X. You're three.
It's
triple,
true.
Okay,
It's true. That's why I was allowed to say 3 F-bombs.
Only 3.
Limit.
Only
limit.
3. That's it. I passed it.
Triple F.
Actually, I'm trying to buy a plane ticket to live with my new parents in Florida.
Yay!
Nice.
Sweetie, we have your room ready.
What part of Florida?
Osceola? Is that where we live, Mom?
Osceola.
Osceola County.
Osceola.
I would have figured it out.
Osceola.
You should have showed him Kissimmee and let him say that.
Kissimmee.
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 Mickey Mouse Land.
They live in Kiss Me?
Kiss me? Yeah.
No, Kissimmee.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on down
So
there.
so they live in Osceola.
Osceola.
Osceola County.
That's my dog's name.
Osceola.
After I killed the first one, he was old Jella.
Osceola.
Don't even talk about killing animals.
Uh-oh, you can't talk about that now.
Yeah, working on a financial album called Wealth. We All Live to Hustle. And that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Nice.
Jay,
Nice.
is this a collective answer or do you want to
No,
answer?
he'll do his, I'll do mine.
Okay.
The CBD, the
Gotta bring
CBD
up on the answers. Is
oil,
that what happened?
CBD oil, full spectrum, no fillers whatsoever. It's made in our country, so it's from the farms of
Someone's,
Kentucky.
Hey.
Red, white, and blue.
Nice.
And the website is www.abetteru with the letter U dash
ABETTERU.
And that's the card I have, right?
ABETTERU. Yes, sir.
All right.
ABETTERU dash LLC.com. That's www.abetteru dash LLC.com. Please
Nice.
check it out.
Just so
I'm
you
gonna
know,
I'm gonna advertise you guys. I gotta.
Awesome.
there's a
Cool,
commercial
man,
that's
thanks.
still floating around to this day. My mother is in a Lincoln Financial commercial. If y'all haven't seen it,
Nice.
I will send you the YouTube video. My mother's an
Please
actress
do.
as well.
I
And my
definitely
last
see that.
movie is God, Where Are You? It's awesome.
She's in the movie. God, where are you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
That is dope.
yes.
All right, Hal.
Okay.
Last but not least, which I didn't say at the very beginning, but I just started a new company called Hal Can Help. And
Nice.
basically what it is, it's a marketing company that helps young companies, small companies that do not have a major advertising budget, but has anywhere between $500 to $1,000 to where what we do is we create what are called sales funnels. And we actually do what's called target marketing advertising, to where people that are actually looking for what you have, we will direct them directly to you. And so we have proven results that most of the guys that come in that have things to sell or stuff like that basically have a 40% closing rate based upon our target
Wow.
marketing. So, really good stuff with that. It's brand spanking new. along with our coffee, which is called Revital U.
I drink that coffee almost every day. It's amazing.
Nice.
Keeps you alert.
Basically,
Okay.
it's revitalu.com/a-better-you. That's the website for the coffee. The
Nice.
coffee is really something that's great. T being a workout guy like yourself, a lot of people realistically that do training use the coffee because it has quite a bit of chromium in it, so which helps you rebuild faster. And
I'm gonna have you do a
faster, so.
testimonial on my Instagram and
Love to.
Facebook.
Love to, yeah, love to, and we'll get your address and we'll send all of you guys some samples so you can try it out too. So yeah, but thank you so much, man. This has been cool. This has been awesome. Have we been good? I mean, we haven't really. We haven't hit each other or anything like that.
No, everyone behaved.
Except for
We're all
Dexter X,
amazing. No,
I mean,
everyone's
so,
amazing. Triple X is doing the F-bombs all the time now. Everyone was great today. Thank you so much. You're all amazing. I should get back on the microphone. Sorry. Shameless plug. We got Supreme Bars every second Tuesday now over at NYC, Lower East Side.
What's the address?
It's I don't know the address to pianos.
68 Ludlow, something.
Yeah, it's on Ludlow. I
It's
know
on.
that.
It's pianos. If you look up pianos, Lower East Side, Supreme Bars. Either way, I can tell you the address, but just follow Supreme Bars. The website is supreme-bars.com. It'll give you all the information for the latest Supreme Bars events. We have every second Sunday. We have Supreme Fam. Fam means freestyle around Manhattan. I only work with acronyms. Supreme Bars is beats and rhymes. Bars,
Nice.
beats and rhymes.
I
It's a
didn't know that.
freestyle tournament and producer beat battle at the same time. Beats and rhymes.
Love it.
Supreme Fam. Everyone who goes to Supreme Bars, we're all considered fam. Supreme Fam, the event is freestyle around Manhattan, which we all literally go to different parts of Manhattan,
It's true.
all over the city for tourists, and we
I've
rap
been to a few of
freestyle
them.
for everyone. So thank you once again to everyone in the panel. We had a pretty big panel this time. We also included Jamie and Jade. We had Jamie, Jade. We had Jay. We had Jamie,
Jamie,
Jade.
Jade.
wow.
All right, we had Dexter X.
Who just found his
We
parents.
had Dex and X extra over here, and we had Hal. We had Jay, Jade, Jamie,
Right.
Dex, X, Hal.
Nice.
Beats and Rhymes is that's Buster Rhymes is
That's his cousin. Beats and
cousin.
Rhymes is
Beats and
Buster
Rhymes.
Rhymes.
Buster Rhymes' cousin.
Okay, got
Okay,
it.
yeah.
All right.
So thank you once again. This has been
Thank
Boozy News, current events, and everything in between.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you soon.
Thank you. It was our pleasure.
Thank you.